Okay, sorry about that. I even had six people in here. Yeah, I have six people again. Okay, cool. Yeah. Um, for some reason, okay, so I don't know. It doesn't like maintain connection. Here, let me actually. You probably don't even know what I'm talking about because I'm all over the place. But okay. So we're in Restream here. Channels. Well, for some reason, sometimes it doesn't work, and it gives me a little error message in here that says something like account connection expired or something. Reconnect, and I don't know if it just maintains the connection only for a certain amount of time or something, and then doesn't want to stream on Rumble. So I reboot my computer, and it works on Rumble. Yeah, yeah. That is probably what happened. But it's just kind of weird that it only does it like when I'm streaming, like when I'm starting to stream. It doesn't tell me later. It doesn't go and connect and say, "Hey, you need to reauthorize this if you want to stream again," or whatever. I mean, it just does it and just stops working. And then I reboot my computer. It's fine. I see a little thing up there that says, I need to reconnect. So I do that, and then I start it up again, and then for some stupid reason, YouTube doesn't work. I'm like, what the heck is this about? Because it used to work previously, and so I just basically, I don't know, I refreshed, I closed things down, I restarted them, and eventually the both YouTube and Rumble both worked. So yeah. Anyways, yeah. So Rumble's working and YouTube is working, and it looks like I had six viewers. Now I'm back down to four, which is kind of weird, but whatever. Uh, yeah, well, I didn't exactly solve it. It just, it's like unplug the machine and then plug it back in, right? It's that sort of stupid thing. So the only thing that I know to do is just to restart it, basically stop and restart it. And in this case, in the Rumble case, I usually have to reboot the computer though before the restream actually tells me that I need to reconnect. Anyways, let's get back to the game, which is I'm sure what anybody that's watching me is interested in. And okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, let me do a run here, a quick run of the scene. And so I got panning working, I guess. I mean, I don't know if it's correct. Um, Here, let me show you what it was doing before. I can do that by actually changing the lerp value. If I can find out where I put where the lerping function is here, that would be in that'd be layout tool, and that would be in would it be in here? Where is the lerping part of it? The camera. What am I thinking? Of course, the camera. Okay, so I don't even need to scroll down because this is only one page here. So if I switch this to, hey, let's do it crazy. Let's do 1.75 just to see what happens. It goes nuts. Okay, let's not do that. Here, I'll show you what I was working with before. Let's do this. I'm gonna eventually change this to be my own formatting that I always do. Okay. So, here, let's run the scene. And this is the way it acted aside from when I didn't have the lerping in there. See the way it's doing that? Something is resetting its position, even though it is, in general, it's working. In other words, I'm moving it, see? It's moving to the right position or whatever, but it's jerking like crazily. So when we did, and basically this is essentially Grok's work here. So it kind of wrote it for me. Not that I couldn't write it myself or couldn't figure it out, but so what I did is I set it to that 0.75, and now it works smoothly. I still don't think that I don't feel like it's moving. Well, see, it seems to be moving fast enough, but it's not like I'm grabbing a particular piece of screen and it's moving with the mouse exactly, because it's not. It's like I can move. It's still, because it's lerping. It's actually coming to the cursor position, so it's actually kind of trailing behind, even though it feels kind of smooth and responsive. If I go into, let's go into the 2D editor in here, and well, here, let's switch it to 1.1 here. Is that? I guess I don't know. Is that the what it looks like it's doing when I run the scene? It doesn't seem to move as much. See, if I do it anything higher than 0.75, though, you can start to see the jittering. So I'm not sure if this is the best I can do, because this clearly moves more than mine does. So I'm not really sure what's the deal. I mean, I can analyze the script and I can tell what it's doing, but I can't tell if it's not moving as much as it should be because of its deal, or is it because the way I'm reading the mouse? I don't know. Right? And ready, it zeros position, start origin. Right? That's fine. Input event mouse button. If a event button index is mouse button middle, so if you're pressing the mouse button, is panning is true, which is just a variable up here. Last mouse position, get global mouse position. Panning started at, right, and then else panning is false, right, and you stop it. L if okay, if it's mouse event, if it's not, if it's mouse input event mouse motion and is panning, current mouse position equals get global mouse position. Delta equals current mouse position minus last mouse position. How come I'm not getting an absolute value? How come the delta is position minus delta? Huh. Okay, let me try something. Because I can't look at that and say for sure that there's anything weird going on. If position is not last position, and this just prints some data. This doesn't even do anything. So this is where the work is happening, right? So basically, just it saves the last mouse position. It gets the mouse position, repositions, right? Um, Position and target position, current position and target position. Because I think, okay, let me pull up. I'm gonna pull up both AIs, and we're gonna see if I think Grok is the one that's helping me with this. Oh, let's go all the way down. You can finalize the code. That's fine. Lerp. Okay, so that means what I should do is I should do ChatGPT in a new tab. And I know I've hit the free plan, but that's okay. We don't need that advanced of a model or whatever. This was the actual. Oh, that's right. I can't do that now. Why? Because I uploaded a stupid screenshot to it. Actually, Oh, right. I mean, I could have done it earlier. If I would have done it earlier, would have went to that because I was using ChatGPT to help me with some story stuff earlier. But if I would have went to that first, um, I probably should have. I probably should do that again next time. Um, okay, so let's do new chat, I guess. Okay, I'm. Oh my goodness, I got stupid apple pie filling on my keyboard for some reason. I don't even know. I have it on my fingers or something. I didn't get it. I'm getting annoyed by everything today. It's annoying. Today is annoying. Y'all can commiserate with me. Today is annoying. Okay. I'm working on a game that at this stage is a choose your own adventure style game. The engine is working. I'm working on a tool to help me lay out rooms. In this case, they're not rooms in the traditional adventure game. What word am I looking for? Like meaning, but it's not the word meaning. What? How come whenever I want a word, it never pops up? You know? Maybe I got Alzheimer's or something, or maybe my ADHD is driving me nuts or something. Or maybe I should grab me a taurine and a tyrosine or something. Maybe that would help me concentrate and focus. Work on tool in this case. Okay, I guess sense is it, but more akin to just pages. Anyway, I'm using Redot 4.3, which is a fork of Godot 4.3, which makes them nearly identical. So I'm trying to get a 2D camera to pan based on hitting the middle mouse button, the scroll wheel pressed as a button, and we'll go ahead and say it, got Grok to write the code for the camera ED script, and I'm wondering, okay, it's working okay. When I started, it was jittery. So eventually, Grok wrote a lerping function for it, and now it's smooth and responsive. However, I'm trying to mimic the Redot editor, Godot 4.3, same editor. And it doesn't seem as quick as the editor is when panning. So here's the code. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's select all, copy, paste. Please analyze and tell me if it looks okay or should it be possibly rewritten. So if I set the lerp function to 1.0, it does the same jittering. 0.75 makes it smooth. But as I said, doesn't feel as quick as the editor does. The 2D editor panning does. Okay. Yeah, case of Mondays. Yeah, exactly. I guess that is because it's Monday, right? Chat. Okay. Okie doke. And this was fine. Okay. Your code is basically fine, but the difference between what you have comes down to how the editor handles panning. A few key differences. No lerp in the editor. The editor doesn't smooth the camera with lerp. It moves the camera instantly by exact mouse delta each frame. The smoothness in the editor comes from the frame-to-frame mouse movement being continuous, not from interpolation. Mouse delta versus global mouse position. The editor typically uses event relative, the data of the delta of mouse movement, rather than computing get global mouse position each frame. Using get the global position and lerping introduces both lag and slight rubbery fill. No smoothing needed for responsiveness. The lerp you add is great for smoothing out jitter if your delta is noisy, but it's also slowing the responsiveness. If you want to feel like Godot readout editor panning, you should move away from the lerp and focus on from using global mouse position. Instead, just move by the relative motion when the middle mouse button is pressed. Something like this. Func input, if input mouse button is panning, event press, LF event mouse motion, and is panning, move camera by negative of mouse relative, dragging moves rolled in opposite direction. Position minus equals event relative. Why this feels faster? Event relative gives you the exact movement the mouse made in that frame, so there's no lag introduced by lerping. No smoothing means your camera immediately follows the drag and behaves exactly like the other optimal trick. If you want a tiny bit of smoothing, still keep it fast, you can do something like, okay, honestly, the editor doesn't use any interpolation, just frame accurate mouse delta. Extra tip, if you want it to feel exactly like that, also make sure you disable any zoom scaling while panning, or divide the delta by the zoom x. Otherwise, panning speed feels different when zoomed in and out. Do you want me to do that? Yes, please. Sure, I'll go for a drop-in replacement. We'll see what happens here. Here's a clean response version. Copy. Use event relative. See, I didn't know what event relative is. I might would have found out if I read the docs or if I read. See, there's the thing. I kept asking about a tutorial, and I was kind of looking around, and I haven't really found anything that's a tutorial about this kind of thing. Restrict planning to a certain area for pages have limits. Optional inertia, so it feels super smooth like physics drag, but still has instant responsiveness. Not yet. Let me try this to see if it works, because sometimes these AIs don't really quite do it. Plus, I'm on the free ChatGPT account, so so you're supposedly using a different model. Okay. All right, so let's do something here. Let's go ahead and actually let's select all again because I copied the other thing. And we're gonna paste it. I only do this just so that when I can just instantly change it back, if it doesn't work. And okay, so let's just copy it. Copy, and let's go in here. And this is a case where I don't. Boy, that's smaller than the other was. Let's save. It doesn't seem to be an error here, though. All right, we'll try it. I mean, it could only just not work, right? Famous last words. Oh, there you go. That is correct. That works. Okay, so let's compare it though while I'm doing it. Hey, that's awesome. It provided, not only did it make a shortened camera script, but it actually works exactly like I want it to work. Okay, I might just ask it to help me with the zoom too. So, anyways, what I'm saying is I don't care if I use the AI for this. If I use exact copy, if it works. I mean, if it doesn't work, that's the one thing, right? Because sometimes these don't work. You have to keep working with them to work, which is kind of par for the course, really. But as far as using it, this is not the game. In other words, this is a thing to help me make the game. So I don't mind actually using the AI to do so. This works perfect, perfectly. Okay, I need to implement zoom. Can you write up something to zoom via the mouse wheel? This is vector 2. Panning zoom. Oh, see, it's doing the full thing. Let me try this first. I don't need. Um, yeah, I just needed to actually here. Let's do a new deal here. New, and then we're gonna select all, copy, and for quite frankly, I don't need to do any silky smooth modern editor thing. I just need to work like I expect it to work, which is like the Redot editor itself. So let's go in and let's check out this code and see if copy. Okay. We'll do a zoom reset button and we'll do a couple of things. Actually, zoom reset button, I don't know if that will actually be in the camera script. It might be, but I'm not sure. But here, let's go ahead and paste. Control save. Run C. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's okay. There's a little bit of a problem with this though. Uh, okay. All right. That's cool though. This is part of the way there though. This is not the way the editor acts though. So let's see something here. So this zooms in when you go up, so it needs to be opposite. Okay. All right. Wait a second. Let me go back to the editor here. Down, zooms out. So let's go. Okay, so let's go back here. Down, zooms in. Okay, so it's got to be opposite. Okay, separate. All right. So let's go over here. Say, okay, a few things. Firstly, the scroll wheel direction needs to be opposite. Now let's make sure that let's go over here. Zoom in. Scroll up, zooms in. Okay, so that's what we need. Scrolling up, mouse wheel up needs to zoom in, and mouse wheel down needs to zoom out. And honestly, that should be not very hard. That should be something I could do on my own. Swap factors. Yeah, stay the same. Don't need to do that. I can go ahead and do that myself. In fact, I'm going to probably we'll just plus and minus that, and we'll play it again. It's weird because it's zooming based on the direction you're at. Okay, this works, but now I need it. This works, but when zoomed out as far as it can go, I don't care if it doesn't go as far as the other does. Okay. When zoomed out, this works. But when zoomed out, the panning becomes very minimal. That is, it gets slower, which means it doesn't move very much. And likewise, and inversely, when you zoom in farther than 1 to 1, then it moves way more zoomed in than it does when it's zoomed out. Classic camera zoom scaling issue. Right now, your panning multiplies the mouse delta by zoom. That works fine when the zoom is less than 1, but it scales the movement in the wrong direction, making it slow when zoomed out and too fast when zoomed in. Divide by zoom instead of multiplying, or scale inversely. Essentially, the world movement should remain consistent in screen space regardless of zoom. Here's a corrected panning line. Pan camera in the opposite correct zoom composition. Position, change it to LF event. Mouse motion in is panning. Times zoom. Opposite to mouse motion. And then it doesn't do zoom.x, but just does zoom. But Okay. I'm just making sure that I got the right thing here. So let's go ahead and hit paste. Okay, let's go ahead and reload. Oh, and it's super responsive. Now, this zoom out, I don't know if I want necessarily need it to fix it. Um, well, I might want it to fix it though. Yeah. Okay. And okay, this works perfectly as well now too. Now there's just one more issue, which is, and actually let me check the editor here. I want to know how close it zooms in. Oh, it really zooms in. I mean, it does it like way. Um, it doesn't zoom out as far as the editor. In fact, it should be able to zoom out to practically see all of the rooms right now. And and zooming in doesn't zoom in as far, although this zooming in so far it doesn't matter quite as much. Min zoom, max zoom. Small enough in most cases. Okay. You can even make the maximum and minimum zoom dynamic based on layout of room, so you never over zoom past the edge of your scene or too far in, but for now. Um, oh, sure. Yes, please. We'll let it do the thing. I'll do the copy thing though. Oop. Oops. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay. Let's go back to script. Let's select all. Copy. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put that in a new tab. I probably won't even save these, but I'm doing this kind of on purpose here like this. So let's go ahead. Okay. Copy. Let's go into and paste. Control S. Let's view the scene. That, well, okay. I guess that's because of the limit of. Okay, the zoom in doesn't matter quite as much as the zoom out, so. Okay, let's make it twice, let's make it 50. I don't know if it's going to be ridiculous or what, but let's see what happens. Okay, this is how far you zoom in, I think. And this is how far you zoom out. So let's do this, that. Okay. This well. Oh yeah. So what? Okay. So what's my actual problem? My actual problem isn't this because this is way far out. I keep forgetting because this is like I can't see it all, which is okay, but huh, that's interesting. I didn't think about that. This is like I think it's like a 720p screen, so I think is what the way. No, it's a 1920 by 1080, so it's a full HD screen, but my monitor is 2560 by whatever, by 1440, I think. And so that makes a difference too. Now, um, well, actually, I shouldn't have closed that. I should have just okay. Let's go all the way out. No, 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 no. What's interesting here oh, is that if you look at it, .78. That's kind of interesting. Okay, let me do something. I won't even be able to see it though. That's kind of the problem, though. Hmm. And I don't want to give it a screenshot because otherwise it's gonna crash out on me. Anyways, um, okay, let's just presume. So yeah, we got a full screen on here, right? No, that's not. That is sort of what that is, though. Huh, interesting. Um, okay, let me think about something here. Let me ask it something. Now, before I can actually do anything with these, other than selecting them, which I'm gonna want to be able to select. I probably want to be able to select some stuff here. That's okay. Um, all right, all right. Um, this works. Um, not just yet. There's an interesting issue which isn't really your code, which works as intended. But um, I can zoom out to the max extent in the editor and still see all of the rooms. They're the panels, which although I can't make anything out at that level, I can still see them all. Since they're rectangular and connected by a short line via the doors, especially on single door rooms pages. In the editor, they look a little like a bunch of plus signs stacked on each other. Now, granted, I can't really do much more with them than select them all, which is what I would do in the tool. But I can't really see any of the room panels once it's zoomed out too far. What's the other thing? I'm thinking that since my tool is only 1920 by 1080, but my monitor is 25, was it 2560? 1920 by 10, no, 1920. Is it 2560? Or something near that by 1440. So I'm thinking that when the editor says it's max, I think I remember seeing the editor and it said something different for the max zoom, but is it 0.78%? That is different than what min percentage should be in 1920 by 1080. Is this assumption correct? Exactly, it's a very reasonable assumption. That's actually a very common point of confusion with Godot readout camera zoom. Relative viewport size, not your monitor. The camera 2D zoom property is a scale factor applied to the viewport. So means 1, 1. So 1 unit in the scene and 1 pixel on screen. The maximum zoomed out in the editor isn't a hard number. It's calculated based on the viewport size, your editor window, the bounding rectangle of the nodes you want to fit on screen. This is why your tool's viewport is 1920 1080. The same min and zoom value doesn't let you see everything like the editor does. I don't really need all this extra stuff, really, but basically does this under the hood when you zoom out all the way. Viewport size, the size of the editor canvas, total scene rect, bounding rectangle containing all room panels. This produces a dynamic zoom factor that ensures everything fits in the current window, which is why on a smaller window the max zoom out is lower. You literally can't see everything all at once if your viewport is smaller. Your current min zoom is 0.05 is absolute, not relative to the viewport, so on a smaller viewport, zooming out this far will make your rooms too small to see. If you want to mimic the editor, you need dynamic min zoom based on your layout and viewport size. Simple calculation could be viewport size, get viewport rect size, var scene rect, get total balance of all rooms, returns rect2 covering all panels, var zoom x equals viewport size x divided by scene rect size x, return min zoom x zoom y, fit entire layout in the viewport. Then you could set min zoom equals calculate min zoom for viewport. This will allow your tool to zoom out just like the editor, showing all rooms no matter how your window size. Says your intuition is correct. Max zoom out in the editor depends on the viewport size, not a hard percentage. That's why your fixed min zoom doesn't let you see all the panels on a smaller viewport. If you want, I can rewrite your camera script so that min zoom automatically adapts to the current layout and viewport, so you can always zoom out to see all the rooms, just like Rita. Yes, please. At least I'm still learning stuff. Like I mean I just need it to write me stuff, and as long as it's working, right? Okay. So we'll do the same thing that I did the other time, and we'll put that on an even different tab. So let's go ahead, select all, copy, and we'll go over here and new and paste. There, that way I don't lose it. I can just go back to the last one. Copy, go back in here, let's go ahead and hit paste. And let's go ahead and Control S. Okay, so update min zoom. Huh, interesting. Is it just the two lines? It's just the two lines, right? Okay. Oh, interesting. Fill this array with your room panels, node 2D or node 2D or control that you want to fit on the screen. Dynamic min zoom, update min zoom calculates the zoom factor, slight padding. Um, update min zoom automatically recalculates whenever rooms are added or removed. Let's wait just a moment. Right now, this is just a camera script, so it doesn't have any access to doesn't have any access to any rooms or anything. In fact, I added this camera in the editor. And also added the script via the editor. It's not doing it programmatically, which means I may need to create and attach the script via the script. Create the camera and add it to the scene via script. Your current setup is just camera 2D with the script attached. It has no automatic reference to your room panels because you're not instantiating them programmatically. That's totally fine. You have a few options. Keep your camera 2D node in the scene. Add an export variable to the camera script so that you can drag and drop all your room nodes in the editor. Um, rest of your camera code. Then in the editor, select your camera 2D node, drag all your room nodes into the rooms array. Update min zoom can now work because it has reference to all rooms. Advantage no need to create camera programmatically, works purely in editor. Create the camera program. You could instantiate the camera via script and assign rooms dynamically. Useful if your rooms are also created dynamically or the layout can change. That is true. That is right. That is correct. Probably code because the rooms are dynamic. They load and attach themselves to the scene via JSON files. Part of the reason to have the layout tool is so that I don't need to just hit the save button, custom editor plugin button, which saves the JSONs as well as accompanying metadata. So eventually, when you add the new room, it will automatically update everything. So dynamic, you'll want a camera script that doesn't rely on anything assigned in the editor. Automatically calculates min zoom, plays nice with the middle mouse pan. Okay, export var room container node 2D. Node that contains all the rooms. Zoom it mouse. Dynamic min zoom calculation. How to use it. Create a node 2D in your scene to act as the room container, which I already have. When you load rooms from JSON, attach them as children of that container, which I do. Assign the container to the camera's room container property, drag and drop, or code. Call update min and zoom after rooms are loaded or added to ensure you can zoom out enough to see all of them. Example, after loading rooms, camera.room container equals rooms container, camera.update min zoom. This way your tool can dynamically handle any number of rooms, zoom out enough to see everything, and still retain smooth pan zoom behavior like redot. If you want, I can make it fully automatic so that update min zoom triggers every time a room is added or removed without needing to call it manually. Not yet, because I haven't added the functionality yet. Well, I do have functionality when you hit the custom editor plugin button, but not as the regular scene itself just yet. Haven't fully hooked up room creation in a particular scene yet. It's smart to hold off auto updating min zoom until dynamic creation is fully. For now, having an update min zoom ready to apply manually after rooms are loaded is enough. Call your plus button functionality is fully implemented. Okay. So let's actually use an export. Okay. Yes. Take min zoom. Create an OTD in your scene. Well, I already got that. Assign that container to the room's camera's room container property. Oh. Camera.room container. Shoot, 3:30. Okay. It's 3:30. It's about time for me to quit. But just before I go, I need to create the camera programmatic via code, right? Right? Our camera tools. Do we have a, let's see. Hold on a second. Let's go to layout tool. Right here. Equals, right. Equals camera 2d.new. Something like that. Optional assign it to the room container. If you use dynamic min zoom, camera.room container equals rooms container. Add it to the scene. You can still attach. Yeah, okay. Okay, so let's do the one. Okay, let me do the one final thing. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and here, select all, copy. I might even save all of these in like odds and ends or something, like old scripts. Paste. Okay, let's go back over here to thing here, and then copy. And let's go back in here, and let's go ahead and hit paste. And it doesn't look like there's any more errors in here as far as the code is concerned. But I will have to we'll have to fix that stuff after. I'll have to fix it tomorrow, I guess. Okay, so that will do it. I guess that will do it. That will do it. No, that will be all. continue tomorrow and do that. Everything set up? Okay. Thanks. I always be courteous to it. I know it's not it doesn't care. It doesn't care if you don't do it or do it or don't do it. They do have a programming that if you're nice to it, it will respond nicely. If you act like a jerk, it'll respond like a jerk kind of thing. It doesn't really mean anything to it because it's not alive, but at the same time, eventually they're going to be so responsive and so much processing and stuff that it's going to be like they're a live person. Like you'll be talking to a robot and it'll look and act just like a person. It'll have hurt feelings or it'll get mad or whatever, depending on how they handle it. But it'll do that. It'll do the normal human reactions, even if it's not. It doesn't matter to it at all. Anyways, that about does it for today. I know I didn't do the full 4 hours like I've been kind of doing, but and I also know that I cut this short by an hour because of the shenanigans that was happening earlier. I apologize, and tomorrow I'll try to be on track. I still think I'm gonna keep to this 3 hour, 90 minutes per stream with the 1 hour break in between. But tomorrow it should be on time, and we'll see what we can get done. And I did make some progress today, so that's good, right? That's a good thing. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching part 2.